What is going on, Colts Nation? Welcome back to another episode of Bring the Juice. Guys, just wanted to bring you a fun little video here. Shout out to my guy, Cody Felger, for giving me this video idea here to break down for you guys. This one's going to stir the pot a little bit, man. This is going to get some of y'all up in your feelings. It's going to get a lot of y'all going crazy, all right? You see in the title of this video, we're ranking the position groups. Now, I will set criteria before I start this. I mixed the safety unit up together just as one, just so we're clear. So there's not 11 different positions on there. So it's just offensive lines mixed together. And, it's just all mixed together in certain ways. It's as units. So just as we're clear on that. And also, I'm simply placing it as we know it right now, before training camp, before what we see this season. A lot of it is potential based, okay, on ranking these position groups. And I'll explain my reasoning for them as we go along, so bear with me, all right? So we're going to start this ranking position groups from worst to best. We're going to go ahead and start with the worst. And I will start with the worst position group here, and that is the safety room, in my opinion. The reason why I have that there is you only have one true player at the safety position that you fully trust in hand when it comes to the safety room, and that is Julian Blackmon. And even outside of that, you can't always trust whether or not he's going to be fully healthy in certain points of the season. He has had his issues with staying healthy. So when I talk about that, I just look at it and say, that's the reason the criteria is so low. I don't have anyone else in that room that I trust right now to actually play some good minutes when it comes down to crunch time, and Julian Blackmon's the only one. So I'm going to go straight there with safety at number 10. Number 9. Now, this one's going to ruffle some feathers here too. So, again, this is a lot of this is, opinion-based, but at the same time, it comes back and forth a lot of different ways. But I'm going to go with the tight end group here. And the reason I go with the tight end group as the 9th worst is because right now there's a lot of question marks about what the tight end group is. And the main thing I have to wonder is Jelani Woods going to be back to what we presume Jelani Woods was going to be? Now, remember, what we saw in 2022, Jelani Woods had a really great season as a rookie. The times they actually got him involved, he was probably the best piece on the offense the whole year. And we don't know yet if Jelani Woods is going to be that big of a factor, if he's going to stay healthy, all of those things. Now, the thing is I have a high regard for this tight end room and the fact that a lot of guys do their jobs very well. Molly Cox, he is the blocker of the group and the big body in the red zone. Kylan Granson, he's the route runner. Will Mallory, the possession guy. Drew Ogletree, you can place him just about anywhere, right? So this is a very diverse group of tight ends. And I like all of them. My issue is the tight end room will never reach its full potential unless Jelani Woods is 100%. So this is a group that right now, this could be a group that hops itself potentially into the top 5 of this conversation at the end of the year if we see everyone go full tilt. And also it depends a lot about Anthony Richardson. So that is why this wanes down so much on the tight end room, because there's still a lot of question marks about what they're going to become, right? So then at number 8, I have the cornerback room. It was kind of going back and forth with me the tight end and cornerback room, because for the same exact reason that I give for the tight end room, there's a lot of what ifs about the cornerback room. When it comes to the cornerbacks, I mean, Juju Brents, we saw him do some great things, but he was hurt a lot of last year. Jalen Jones, did some pretty good things, but he's a 7th-round rookie. How much does he improve this year? Dallas Flowers, does he come back playing at a semi-decent level to be able to compete and win that starting job again? Really, the only person that you mainly trust in the cornerback room right now is Kenny Moore. And Kenny Moore is a great player. And don't get me wrong, he serves his purpose. But outside of that, again, there's a lot of question marks surrounding this unit. Now, I have a lot more confidence in the cornerback room than most others do. I have confidence that Juju Brents is going to get better. I have confidence that Dallas Flowers can play like an average NFL corner out there if he remains healthy. So I have more confidence than most when it comes to the cornerback room. Number 7 is going to be the defensive end room. Now, this is going to increase if Latu becomes what we think he is, and if Abu Khan potentially has an increase in sacks, or if Dio Adangbo does as well. There's a lot of great role players in this group right now, but at this moment, we don't know if there's a true bona fide number 1 stud edge rusher that can dominate the pace of the game when it comes to the defensive end room. Ebu Kam is not that right now. Kwity Paye clearly is not. Dio has flashes, but he's not consistent. And Latu, we don't know about yet. I think that there's great depth in this group, but as far as who takes them number 1 over the top, we don't have that right now. So that's why that's still so far down on the list for me. Again, this is all for right now. This is not later. This is not after training camp. This is not 5, 10, 15 weeks into the season. This is right now. The question marks matter. Number 6, you got to go quarterback here. I was half tempted to potentially put this lower just simply because there's still a lot of question marks about Anthony Richardson. But again, I've seen in a limited span of how great Anthony Richardson can play. And the best part is with Joe Flacco being a backup. Joe Flacco, who is a very smart person and someone that can run a Shane Steichen offense if asked to do so if something were to happen again. So as far as those two together, I think Anthony Richardson, if he remains healthy, that could end up being one of the biggest changes on this list. Again, it's right in the middle of the pack. It's not great. It's not bad. I think overall, it's a solid position right now. Number 5. So here we go. We're getting into the top half of this list now. Number 5 is going to be running back for me. And the reason why I have it so low, and again, I understand, guys, like people are saying, you have Jonathan Taylor. What else do you need? I get that. I'm just saying Jonathan Taylor has had his injury problems also. But behind that group, we don't really have anyone that I fully trust to handle the workload now that Zach Moss is gone. If Zach Moss were on this group, I would easily have put them in the top 4. I could have argued potentially for a top 3 if you wanted to. So I'm going with 5 here because, yes, Jonathan Taylor is one of the best at what he does when he's healthy. The problem is does he stay healthy for the consistency of the season, and who's behind him? There's still question marks about that. Number 4, going to go with the wide receiver group. Right here, you got a great combination of a lot of different things when you look at this wide receiver group. Michael Pittman, who is your pretty much do everything type of guy. You need him to catch a pass downfield, he can catch one. You need him to catch it off the high point, he can do that. You need him to make possession catches just to keep the chains moving, he can do that. You need him to run sweeps, he can do that. Michael Pittman has a lot of different aspects to his game that just makes him a bona fide number 1 wide receiver, and that's why you put him there in that spot. Then you have other guys, Josh Downs, who you drafted last year, set the rookie franchise record for most catches in a season. And we fully expect Josh Downs to get better with Anthony Richardson as the quarterback moving forward. So Josh Downs is a prolific player. Alec Pierce, who is a deep threat anytime he gets out there on the field. And then you drafted a kid in Adonai Mitchell, who a lot of people have high expectations for this year, and Anthony Gold, who is also a special teams ace. So while there's not only a number one guy and a lot of talent, there's just a diversity effect of just different types of players in this group that can affect the game in so many ways, which is why I have them here in the top 4. Number 3, I'm going to go with the defensive tackle group. And honestly, I could have made the argument that, wide receiver could have potentially moved up higher, but we still have to wonder what's going to happen with at least 2 of the 4 guys that I mentioned in that previous group. What I'm talking about right here is that the defensive tackle unit, you know who it is. DeForest Buckner and Grover Stewart. DeForest Buckner, who just got an extension this offseason through the 2026 season. DeForest Buckner, who's widely regarded as one of the top defensive tackles in all of the NFL. And then Grover Stewart, who just got a massive contract extension this offseason as well, who is one of the best run-stopping defensive tackles that the NFL has to offer. So your front 2 is some of the best guys at what they do in the NFL. And the interior depth, where it varies, it's not that great. But you talk about guys like Raekwon Davis, who can do what Grover Stewart can. Dio Adengbo, who, can play on the inside on occasion. So this is a great unit of inside guys that can do a lot of great things for the Indianapolis Colts. And then number 2, we're going to go with the linebacker group. Yes, the linebacker group. I mean, hate on it all you want, guys, but Zaire Franklin quickly becoming one of the best linebackers in all of the NFL. I know people don't give him his praise. People don't give him awards and stuff like that. Does not mean he doesn't deserve them. He is one of the best linebackers in all of the NFL. He leads the NFL in tackles a lot during the season. EJ Speed, who is an all-around great linebacker, great in coverage, can make that big play for you in the run game and getting a sack. And then the backups as well. Segun Alubi, I really like as a young player. Carlisle is going to come in and do some great things. Grant Stewart, who can come in, make a few snaps, and is special teams ace. This is a great unit for the linebacker group, and it's had its moments, but it is a very solid unit out there for the Indianapolis Colts. And finally, the number 1 unit, and we all should know this, it's the offensive line. No doubt about it, guys. I mean, numbers speak for themselves. Bernard Ryman is quickly asserting himself into the top left tackle board. Last year was a top 13 tackle in the league, and a lot of people thinking he could make the jump to a top 10 left tackle this year. Quentin Nelson, one of the best at what he does. Big Q is always goated. Ryan Kelly, a top 3 center in the league. When he's healthy and he's on the field, he is a menace. Will Fries, we make the joke, he's an average right guard, but when your worst offensive lineman is an average right guard in the NFL, you're doing something right. And Braden Smith, I know, has had the injuries, but when Braden Smith is out there, Braden Smith is a really good right tackle, very easily a top 10 right tackle in the league. So when you got guys that are top half of every single position on this unit, a lot of guys top 10, some guys even top 5, you're definitely doing something right when you're talking about this unit. And there's no doubt that the offensive line unit is the best position group that the Indianapolis Colts currently offer. But that's going to do it for this one, guys. Let me know your thoughts on these position rankings. I'm dying to hear what you guys' thoughts are on this. I know a lot of you are not going to agree with me, but I'd love to hear what you guys think. Leave a comment in the comments down below. That'll do it for this one, guys. Thank you so much for all the support. I don't know when this video is coming out. From when I recorded this, only 8 days away till training camp. I don't know when this video is coming out, but we're pretty much a week away now from training camp, and it is so close. Let's get into it, guys. Thank you so much, and as always, go Colts.